Yo man, you ready for a little interview?
Little interview.
How long is it ago that I interviewed you on the stream?
I think it was when I just came over after the clicking stuff.
Yeah.
It was around March, I guess. March last year.
You can go a little bit closer to make sure that people can hear you.
Hey guys.
When did you come over?
Came over when we were still in Belgium. When was it? Around 2015 in the spring, summer. Like transition from spring to summer. Well, when was that? June, July 2015?
Less than 3 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
In these 3 years, how much has happened? Have you grown? Have you done things? Like, what's your experience?
I've definitely grown like crazy in the 3 years I've been here. And my experience has been really well, like, except from the part where all the clicking stuff happened and stuff like that. It was not, in the moment, it was not really a really great experience. But I must say that in retrospect, it is one of the things that helped me grow really a lot. Yeah, I don't really carry around any baggage or like, you know, any remnants of the past. I just go with the flow and I feel really great, and I'm really happy with how things are going and how far we've come and how far I have come. I must say, like, in the first 2 years, I guess, of being here, I did get a lot of room to grow on a more mindset level. But in terms of like what I could actually do, there was not that much growth. I did make like the Hearthstone videos and I was learning a little bit of Vegas, but it didn't always feel so tangible or impactful. But then since the last half year, almost a year, I guess, since working on the game, I feel like I've grown tremendously in another aspect of life, basically, where I feel like I'm really capable and I can achieve things, and if I really put my mind onto something, I can become really good at it. Yeah, like the sky is the limit, basically.
You've grown a lot. Like, what are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm working on the design of the game. With design, I mean like helping out with designing of how actually the game works and the mechanics work. So Athene often comes up with ideas, and then I try to understand the ideas, and then I also try to come up with extra things we could do within that idea, because sometimes the ideas are really broad and then we have to flesh it out. So for example, one of the things is with the pet system we're working on now, we will be thinking about how we're going to make the mechanic of the egg hatcheries, which is like something similar to gyms in Pokemon Go, but like we want to give a spin to it. So we will have to discuss on how we will introduce that basically to the player, and what will the interactions be, and how will we basically make it all fit nicely in the game we already have. And then also what I mean with design is designing the user interface and the user experience. Well, the user experience is basically already a little bit of what I described earlier, but then also when I develop the user interface, I also think a lot about the user experience. What is the easiest way for players to navigate the game? Athene is also really helpful in giving feedback on that, and that also has helped me a lot to grow in that regards. And I also basically do the art for the game quite a bit. Like I design the icons, and of course I use Shutterstock and Unity and all these assets because I'm not actually drawing myself. It's more like me taking assets, putting them together to try and create like a nice looking game that also feels like as if it is the same game.
So how is it to work with me?
I really like it. It's really chill, and it is quite fast, which I like. I like to work really fast, so we often make decisions really on the fly. And like working with you is always focused on the goal, so there are not like bureaucracy or whatever it is. Like I don't really have experience in working in other companies, so it's hard for me to compare. But like in general, working is really nice. It's really focused on the target, and
I work quite a bit with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like most people that are here interviewed, they don't have so much contact with me.
Mm-hmm.
But Nolan does, Ricardo does too, because we work on
basically
the math.
the daily.
Yeah. So do I boss you around?
No, not at all. It's more like a cooperation of how we work together, right? So we basically think together and throw ideas back and forth, and we try to iterate really fast on things. And basically I make UI, and then he gives feedback on it, and then give my reasons of why I think we should do it one way, and then he gives his reasons of why maybe a certain way is not so good, or why he actually also likes the way I'm going about things, or the other way around, where he gives arguments of how to go about a certain thing in the game. And then I basically listen to the arguments, and then I think like, oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Do you think I have ego?
No.
You've been here already quite a while, right?
Mm.
Do you think I'm responsible for the ideas being used, even within the game, when it comes down to development and everything? You working, like how much of what is in the game is stuff that I came up with relative to what other people came up with?
Well, I would say almost everything in the game idea-wise came from you, right? Or it came about from us discussing in the basement downstairs with you being involved.
But is it because like these ideas are just like, because now people might think, the reason why I'm going this way is because people might think like, yeah, Athene is just bossing people around, imposing his own ideas on everybody else.
No, that's not true, because what I just said is either you came up with the idea and you come downstairs and discuss it, and also usually when you come with these ideas downstairs, we discuss it and we give everyone the room basically to understand like what the idea is and why it is a good idea. And basically once everyone has a really good understanding of these ideas, then we just get going and we start implementing these.
Yeah.
And also a lot of the ideas come about by when we're brainstorming downstairs and you're usually involved, then we come up with these ideas. Like also downstairs people often come up with ideas, but they're more like when they're working on a certain menu, it's like, oh yeah, why don't we do this thing like this? But like more like the, how do you say it? The overhead ideas,
picture,
right? Yeah, like the bigger picture ideas of like the general idea of the game basically. All those general ideas usually come from Athene, because he's like the idea man in a sense, and because that's what he's good at, right? Or like one of the things he's good at. Yeah, that's also how we work, right? We use people's abilities and skills, and that's how we go about things. If someone is really good at designing, we put him on design, right?
So your experiencing working with me is quite chillax, basically. Are you fulfilled?
Yeah, I'm really fulfilled.
And like, is it the same as before?
No, it has been increasing really dramatically over the past year or half a year. Like I would say like, yeah, over the last half year, it has really increased like crazy, like fulfillment.
Because you do quite a lot of work, you work quite a lot too, learn a lot of skills and stuff. What about your future, man?
My future? In what do you mean with what about my future?
If you need to find a job, what if this place doesn't work out? You know, all the scarcity arguments.
In regards of finding a job, I'm not so worried, because I've become really good with Photoshop. With Photoshop, mainly in the category of like game design, right? Because Photoshop has also an entire other aspect of like fine-tuning pictures, and you have like all this color grading stuff, and like more this direction of Photoshop where you are more like in the photographer space, while I went more into Photoshop of like very much image manipulation heavy, where I use a lot of Photoshop's tools to make art work out really well. Also, I use Photoshop really for UX design and rapid prototyping, and I've also got to learn other tools other than Photoshop. So for example, I've learned InVision, which is a prototyping program on the web, which I used to create the interactive website that we showed on the stream, right, of the Armory. These skills would allow me to find a job quite easily within the space of like game dev, right? And also I have a lot to back it up, because I basically have all my Photoshop files of every UI in the game. I have it on my PC, and I could very easily just create a portfolio with all the things I made, and I can elaborate on it really extensively, because I can really talk about why I made it in this way and what were the struggles and how did I solve the solutions. And these are all things I can present to potential employers, right?
Would you try and find a job if this place all dies out?
Would I try and find a job? Not in the conventional way. Maybe a job I could see myself try to apply for is a job that has like impact. Like maybe there was this company, basically their model is to give half away of what they make, and basically the way they work is like they always split up all their projects in half of their projects that they're currently working on is for charities, and and they do it for free, and half of the projects is for clients, right, which they get revenue from. It's like more like these idealistic companies I can see myself apply for, but really for like making games or like doing all my life like UI design. Well, actually like really UI design. If I can just do the user experience design and not have to worry about art, I can really see myself try to use it in a way to improve reachability from companies I see trying to have a really big impact in the world. But more than that, I see myself trying to figure out my own business, so to say, or like my own group that's like my own startup, my own non-profit that seeks to have an impact in the world basically and try to see what is possible.
So like 3 years ago, what were your skills?
I was good at going to the gym and I was good at procrastinating.
Do you see people grow here?
Yeah, I actually do quite a bit, yeah. Like I see people go through quite some growth and yeah, it's quite cool to see how people are growing and evolving and becoming more skillful.
So what about all these guys saying, but Athene, I don't have any skills. I'm not good enough. I can never do this. I'm a loser.
Well, to those people, it's hard for me to say because I think in a sense it's an excuse, right? But in a sense they also really experience these emotions, right? That they cannot do it. And they let these emotions basically guide their decisions. While I would advise to those people to basically take a leap and drop the actions, those emotions. Well, I'm gonna rephrase this. So basically just trust your understanding or like trust in something, like maybe trust in coming over or trust in your own understanding of like, yeah, if I just follow these steps, I will experience growth. And it's really something I think these people have to go through to experience it, because I feel like these people will have a really hard time to use their understanding to come to these conclusions because the emotional pull of how they feel is just way too strong. But I would just say take the leap. There's really nothing that can go wrong, and yeah, worst case, at least you learned something from it.
Well, yeah, you can just embrace failure, you know, like
Yeah.
people are afraid of failure. It just makes no sense. Failure makes you better and better.
And I think I'm also quite a good example because 3 years ago when I came over, I literally had zero skills. I was really like done with school, right?
Yeah.
Because I basically went to college and after a month I already quit because I was like, fuck this shit. Like this is just not going to go anywhere for me. And I was just trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And Real Talk has helped me tremendously. And coming over has helped me even more than all the Real Talk combined. Like it's incomparable, like how much being here has helped me in comparison to listening to the Real Talk. So I would really say, like, look at me. 3 years ago, I didn't know jack shit. Right now, you can see me on the stream. I'm quite comfortable talking and I'm quite comfortable in my abilities and in my skills. So it is a long road, but and there are definitely obstacles along the road, but you will get there. So
Do you think people should apply?
yeah, definitely.
How much do you get paid?
Pay jack shit, man.
So I'm
Get paid in lentils.
I'm taking advantage of you. How much money am I making?
But you're
out
not
of you?
taking advantage of me.
I'm just asking. It's the critical viewer, you know, like.
You're worse off than me. You're literally a fucking hobo. I'm official resident of Forst.
I'm a hobo. I'm not taking the money. Reese is taking grabbing all the cash. So what about your relationship?
With Cassidy.
Yeah, just how is that in this environment?
It's really nice. Like, it's something that has helped me grow a lot. I'm really happy with my relationship with Cassidy. And
Is that because she's watching right now that you're saying?
no, I'm really satisfied. Yeah, like it's actually a really, really great relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if people would have any questions about it, of how certain things work, but it's really nice.
And do you feel like it's on her end too, like that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Is there jealousy in this building?
Like, I'm also really not of the jealous type. Yeah, and I also think Cassidy is not of the jealous type at all, so everything is really, really chill.
What about drama? Is there any drama, gossiping?
Gossiping? No, not really. Sometimes there's a little drama, but that's usually because of PMS and stuff like that. So
what do you think of the entire situation? I don't know if you followed the past.
what I think of it, like I experienced quite a mix of emotions going through it, because I felt like anger and sadness and unfairness, because I think people get really treated really, really well here, and misrepresent us then in such a way is really not something I appreciate. I think it's just lame that also people try to always, how do you say it, target this place as a bad place because of misinformation or whatever, or because of them experiencing jealousy or certain type of dissonance. So I have a hard time understanding why people try to villainize us.
Well, because it's more sensation, you know? Everybody jumps on a nice, juicy story. How is am I the boss in this place?
I wouldn't say so. Things happen. Like, this place is actually quite crazy in the sense of how organically things evolve here. Like a metaphor I always use for myself, because I see these things happening and it's like, man, it's so crazy how this works. And it's like a little bit like with ants, right? When there's a certain type of ant in lack, right? Other ants start taking over these tasks, right? And it's a little bit of a metaphor that you could use here. Whatever is necessary to be done to have impact or to keep this place running, it happens quite organically. People take initiative themselves, and when there's need, for example, for bug testers or something, it evolves quite naturally with people taking on these tasks. It's quite cool. Of course, there is still quite some organization going on behind the scenes, and you're also really involved in keeping everything organized and structured, but in no way does that mean that you are the boss. Basically, everyone has their field of expertise, and people tend to give authority to decisions that are related to certain expertise. So if someone is really expertised in coding servers, then that guy is going to make the call on how the server is going to work and how the infrastructure is going to be like.
So basically, I'm not am I a sociopath going crazy here,
No. No, you're just very chill. Actually, I would say I'm more the one bullying you than you bullying anyone else, but I like to bully Athene every now and then.
Yeah, I'm being emotionally abused by Nolan. It's actually quite crazy that people don't apply and take use of this opportunity. It's really surreal. Mm-hmm. And they see the game. I showed the game. People are really like, whoa, this is really well. Mm-hmm. Like, these are people that were just playing video games all day that made it. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
And the game is
really gaming addict, man.
But the thing is, like, the game is really, really good.
Yeah.
It's not like some fucking shitty...
Yeah.
No, you see it, you see the flow, you see the experience, it looks all really badass. I mean, that shit, it's not just some fucking...
And it's with people that never made a game before. It's with people that some of them never coded in their life before. And it's all... Like, I never made UI or art for a game or whatever. The most I ever did was when I was here and I made some stream layouts. Like, in the beginning.
Do parents know you're here?
Yeah, my parents know I'm here.
What do they think?
They're quite supportive, actually, of me being here.
Is the game more addictive than Hearthstone or League of Legends? League of Legends and Hearthstone is toilet paper compared to this game. Yeah. This game is built around dopamine. That's it. You just get dopamine. It's dopamine over...
Yeah, it's the experience of how we designed it is really in a way that I think for a lot of people it will be quite surreal. And I think also a lot of people will be, while playing the game, will become so unaware while they're still playing the game. Like, I think you can really you will really experience one of the lowest awarenesses in your life and you will still be playing the game and you will just be filled with dopamine in your head. That's really how you will be playing the game, because the way we create the game and the way we make it flow like water, it is so insane. Like, I think people will be just taking it for granted really, really fast.
Yeah.
And they will not realize so much of how much thought went into it to make them take it for granted so fast when they try to play it. If it's the only game they play for quite a while and they would then switch to another game, they will really have a bad time with the other game, because they will just say, like, why is this game so complicated? People will just, like, get repelled by the complexity of... Not the complexity of other games, but, like, how complex it is to interact with these games, right? Because certain games are so complex to interact with.
What do you think of the game?
I think it's really fucking sick.
Would you play it if you were a viewer?
Yeah,
You would have known 3 years
Damn
ago.
fucking straight.
This is something that a lot of people don't really realize is people will play it, right? And everything happens so seamlessly. You just on a certain level just assume it's like Facebook. Nobody thinks so much about Facebook. It just takes over your life. It makes you put everything online and you don't really think about it. It just happened. And it's like people going to a casino and slotting away all their life savings. They don't really think about it. It just happens. And this game, when you play it, people will not even understand why, but they will go to their friends and go like, hey, look. And they won't even understand, why they're doing it. They won't, and then say like, oh yeah, what is the game about? Yeah, man, you can really, make your teams and stuff. And they will try to explain the gameplay while there is none. It's just a dopamine injector, and that's it. And you will have all your rationalizations and going like, whoa, you can collect streamers and play with you. And you will have all this feeling like, whoa, it's so... While everything has just been engineered, to milk you dry. The good thing is that you can then transfer your progress to the blockchain and recoup some of your investments, to put it that way, or just your spending. But at the same time, you will just feel like, whoa, this game is so, it's addictive. You won't even feel so much like playing other games anymore. And you will think like, yeah, I grew away from it. But no, it's just the dopamine that this game will provide. Other games can't do so. Yeah, you just go to the elections, you vote for Trump, you thought it's your own decision, but you just got manipulated by machine learning and by certain ads or fake news pushing you in a certain direction. People are monkeys. And this game just takes advantage on another level with all the psychological dynamics. And everybody, will just go like, whoa, Athene, whoa. What I like a lot about the game is the brand, the Athene brand. It's going to be... I
actually like it a lot too.
It's going to be top kick. To see everybody come with rationalizations. Actually, Athene is a good guy. Man, yeah. Yeah, I thought he was really cocky, but he's not... I saw him in the church. He's actually chill. And they forget about everything. Everything is just passé. So, what is your advice for these very intelligent people?
Yeah, I would just advise these people to reflect on what they want to do with their life. And I would strongly advise these people to, within their time of reflecting on what they want to do with their life, think about maybe coming over here and having an impact in the world, in this place.
Do you think you have an impact here?
Yeah, definitely. And it will become exponentially more and more, I think. Because, for people outside, it's like things are very slow, right? Because they don't experience the day-to-day decisions and progress we make here on the game every day, and how these things can potentially ripple in impact by giving us more relevance, by increasing the value of Dubia and so on. But in here, it's really going really fast. Yeah, I would just advise people to reflect and consider coming over.
Because else he has other stuff to do. He's doing the pet expansion that we're going to launch with.
Salary. Do we have salary in the food?
Salary in the food.
Salary.
What is salary?
Selder.
I think he's asking how much you make.
Yeah, I know, but I'm spinning the question,
I think we do have it in the food. Yeah. How do you do most of your learning, mentors or self-study?
I would say most of my learning I do by doing. So basically, I have to make a UI for a game, right? I have to make the new UI for... When I had to make the UI for the campaign tower or whatever, I just started putting stuff in my Photoshop document, dragging things around, adjusting layers, editing them, fine-tuning things, and yeah, just like that, like the UI emerges basically, and then... no, I don't lift anymore. I actually do no sports.
If I spend money on the game, where does it go? To Reese pocket? To Reese company. That's where it goes to.
Yeah, boy.
No, you're on Discord. I want to talk to you about something important.
Well, I sometimes check Discord, but I never ever reply to PMs. I mean, if you have questions, you could ask them now, right? Or
just
you
ask
could
them now, man.
Or you could just ask it on the stream, because when I'm downstairs, I'm working, man. Ain't nobody got time to reply to DMs.
I can send a message to Reese. You're going all secretively, like...
Can I also do a donation, with secret message?
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to contact us.
Yeah. You give a fat donation of $1,000 with a secret message.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, with a private message.
I hope the lurkers learned something from this interview.
Yeah, you guys can apply here.
I actually like the interview. I actually like streaming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
When it's chill like this.
Yeah.
But I guess when you do it every day, it's
Yeah.
like, fuck this shit.
When you do it every day, like definitely with these,
Yeah.
you know, really like every day same story. You know? People that don't like Idle Heroes, will they still like this game? Yeah.
Damn straight.
Yeah, because our game is infinitely better than Idle Heroes. Idle Heroes is really
Oh my god,
is
man.
a piece of shit compared to what we're
Yeah.
doing. You guys have no idea how much time goes into really. They don't understand it. Like the quest, the experience. It's all about the experience and
Yeah.
making you feel like, oh, everything comes natural. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. So, do you guys have any questions regarding the interview I did about what I said? About me, you know, growing here a lot and learning skills and how things go here? Well, I guess. Are others jealous of your relationship? Nah, I don't think so. What would you do if the compound would disband? Well, that's a really broad question, right? If the compound would disband, because maybe there would still be people here that would want to work together to have an impact in the world, right? And the first thing I would think is like, okay, are there still people that want to go for having an impact in the world? Okay, then work together with these people, because with these people I've been working already together for quite a while. Yeah, see from there basically. When do you think Divi will be implemented? That's really almost impossible to say, you know? I'm also not so involved in when Divi will be implemented. I'm more working on making sure the game is really slick and making sure people have work. I sometimes try to find work for people. If people are running low on work, I try to help them with certain things they could do to move the game forward. Both my parents are from Belgium. When will the game hype begin? Man, the game will be done when it's done, right? I think right now we're literally just released it when we're done with the game, because it's all the time. It will come out this year though, but when this year, it's hard for me to say. So, last round for questions.
Yes, last round for questions before he's going, man.
Ding, 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 ding.
Who pays for condoms?
Reese.
Yeah, we actually have a big box here.
Yeah, man.
This place is really cool. It has everything.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Anything you do differently than me? No.
How do you mean anything I do differently than you?
Would you do anything differently if you were in my shoes?
I haven't really thought of that so much, but I would say things are quite streamlined, and I think what you're doing is good. Guess keep doing what you're doing, man.
I think I do a really sick job.
Yeah,
I also think you're doing a really good job too.
Give us that link for the GDC job demands.
The screenshot you gave me.
Well, basically, if you go to YouTube and you type Unity Keynote GDC, then just take the most recent video, and the guy will basically do an introduction and he will talk a little bit, and then he will go over some stats, and then you can see in the stats you have like on LinkedIn the top 7, like he shows the top 10 most requested skills, right? For what people are asking for on LinkedIn to employ these kind of people. And then you can see that Unity developer is on the 7th spot. Number 1 is machine learning, of course, but yeah, it's pretty dank, right? 6 spots difference from machine learning.
We got people here doing machine learning, well, getting into Amazon services,
Yeah.
how to use machine learning.
Also, Unity is coming out with their machine learning agents and stuff. Man, it's really sick how they're making that.
Well, our game is really going to be always like front line. We are so fast.
Yeah.
You cannot compete with us.
Yeah.
We're just too fucking damn fast.
Yeah.
Are you proud of what Nolan has become? Well, anyone that has been here for a longer time and didn't leave, right, has really become extremely productive.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Like, it's really insane. People don't understand you guys are just these sleeping cells that could do so much for the world, and yet because of your potato-ness, you're just choosing to, I would go as far as saying, to just not live life. You're just not so much alive. You're just in this potato grind zone, but it's so much more enriching to work together and have a difference, so much more meaningful, so much more purposeful. And towards the future, man, like, we're gonna have more and more impact, more and more projects. You guys will really regret that you haven't come over, because
I think so too.
they will apply later on and it's gonna be too late. It's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm sorry, we're getting flooded.
Yeah, we'll need almost an entire CV, right?
Yeah, people
plus,
will.
plus a good mindset.
Yes.
Because
Now that people get really, guided
Yeah.
and trained, but in the future we don't have time for that shit. And people will just have missed out. By the way, Azermox, I'm gonna answer your question and I'm gonna ban you because you always keep asking this, it's unbelievable. You said you get tilted when you see a mistake in the game. But the thing is though, like, when I experience a certain emotion while I'm watching the game, doesn't mean I start punching someone, So I don't act upon it, but I still experience emotions. There you go. I think I saved myself a lot of... I saved myself a lot of...
Those last words.
Yeah. But I did address it though. I just don't have time for it. What can I say? It's crazy, like he can do so much, but no, he's just at home doing... I mean, man, come on, do stuff, do good stuff.
Do you guys still need graphics designers? Man, it's not how it works here, man.
It's like these questions.
It's not how it works here. Basically, people just develop the skills. Well, there are two ways we work here, right? First of all, we look at the skill sets people have, and we base our projects based on those skill sets. And then there's the other way we work, which is to achieve a certain idea, we need people that have these skills, and then we have our people internally acquire these skills by self-study. It's a really cool system. It's really insane.
This is really a powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I find really crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get to see a game that will go viral like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They see like, it looks good. They see the experience already like, I see myself play that. And yet still, they're just passive watching the stream while they could be part of it. It's just surreal. Do you take applications from people who are not able to move? Nope, it's just useless. People that are coming over here are the ones that have the biggest impact. So, yeah.
It's really incomparable how much people can do here compared to people at home.
It's like we have random hours, right? Even at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I go around. There is no,
downtime.
There is no downtime. It's not like, the guy's on weekend or the guy's this or the guy's that. Things go so quick here.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
It's like a patch or a redesign. It's just boom, 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 and it's already in the game. So insane. Do you have people doing music or are you planning to license it? Dude, why have an artist when you can just go to Shutterstock? Why have a music maker if you can just go to premiumbeat.com or whatever and just download sick music? Our game has such a good music, right? Nobody made the music. We just buy shit. Same with all the pets. You think we have someone drawing all that shit? We just go to the asset store and we just spend $200 for someone that drew this shit in years. It took him, I think, 2 to 3 years to draw all that shit.
To draw and animate of that quality, it's
2 years,
it's quite some work, yeah. Unless he has a studio, of course, with several people, then it goes faster. But to do that alone, man.
With this interview, I think a lot of people will apply. Well done, Nolan. You really think so, Van Eyck Twitch? I don't know, man. I hope people will realize that spots are running low, though. Anyone in North America made it there yet? Yes, actually, well, North America not. One's from South America.
What is apply? You can apply if you want to work together with us.
So yeah, I guess not so much more questions. I'll just let you go back to work, man.
Back to
See
work,
you later,
man.
man.
Peace out, man.
Peace out.
Apply, guys.